Hello, and welcome to the virtual simulation of Civil Engineering Lab ASTMC, where students find the specific gravity and absorption of coarse aggregate. In this lab, you will weigh a coarse aggregate sample of limestone in various conditions, and use the weight values to calculate the bulk specific gravity SSD, apparent specific gravity, and absorption. If at any point you would like to review your current instructions, reset the lab, or quit, you can do so through the wrist menu. The wrist menu is accessed by clicking the menu button that appears when looking at your left hand. When you are ready, please enter the facility to begin the lab. In the first step, you must collect your coarse aggregate sample. To do so, take the bucket and attach it to the ground plate near the pail of dirt. Then, using the shovel, shovel dirt 3 times from the pail into the bucket. Great. For the next step, attach the bucket and the sieve to the attached plates on the cabinets. Then, using the trowel, or small shovel, pour one sample from the bucket into the sieve. Finally, shake the sieve until smaller material in the aggregate is sufficiently filtered. You are doing very well. In this next step, we are going to wash the sample in the sink. First, snap both the sieve and the blue bowl on top of the cabinets, and using the trowel, pour the sample from the sieve into the bowl. Then, snap the bowl to the attached plate in the sink. Next, grab the faucet nozzle, and move it so that it is directly above the bowl. Then, grab the faucet handle, move it upwards, and keep it up until the sample is sufficiently washed. You will know it is washed when you hear a bubble noise. When that happens, return the handle to its resting state, grab the bowl from the sink, and attach the bowl to the cabinet snap plate nearest to the sink. Good job. In this step, we are going to manually dry the rocks in the bowl. First, snap the blue bowl and the red bowl on top of the cabinets. For 5 rocks, grab each rock from the blue bowl. Rub the towel against the rock until you hear a noise indicating it is sufficiently dried. Then, place the rock in the red bowl, and repeat this process for the other remaining rocks. In the real lab, you would have to dry more than 5. Now, grab the red bowl with the dried aggregate, and attach it to the snap plate on top of the scale. Make note of the weight, as it is the value B in your final calculations. Great. Now, snap both the red bowl and the wire basket on top of the cabinets. Using the trowel, pour the aggregate from the bowl into the basket. Then, take the basket, and snap it below the scale in the barrel of water, to fully submerge it. Finally, take note of the weight, as it is the value C in your final calculations. Note: in the actual lab, the submerged sample would be shaken to remove entrapped air. In this step, take the wire basket, and snap both the basket and the red bowl on top of the cabinets. Using the trowel, pour the sample from the bucket back into the red bowl. Then, take the red bowl, attach it to the snap plate inside the oven, close the oven doors, and press the red button to start oven drying the sample. The oven is located near the lab entrance. Note: during the actual lab, you would dry the sample to a constant mass of around 110 degrees Celsius, and then leave it to cool at room temperature for 1 to 3 hours. Now, remove the bowl from the oven, and attach it to the snap plate of the scale again to weigh the oven-dried sample. Take note of the weight, as it is the value A in your final calculations. Excellent work! You have completed the lab, and can now view the results of your findings and the necessary calculations that you must deliver in your report on the UI panel to the left. When you are finished, click the Quit button on the panel to exit the lab.